That is working. Good. That's a good sign. Good evening, everyone. At this time, if you'd be so kind to sit down at your tables after you get your beverage of choice, we'll start our proceedings for this evening. Welcome to the 18th annual Dartmouth Hall of Fame ceremonies. Give them a round of applause. I'm your MC of the evening. My name's Ed Pereira with Big 101.3 Radio, and it's my pleasure to be here with you once again and talking about Dartmouth football, basketball, and all other sports. And what more do we need to know that Jim Thompson's in the room with us, so if I make a single mistake, he'll be here to help us out at any time. At this point, we'd like to get all of our inductees to go to the back of the room right now, and you'll see Mr. Shea waving frantically at you, and you just join him, and then we'll start our proceedings. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention for just a moment here, we'd like to introduce you to all the fine nominees to this year's Hall of Fame. First off, he's the girls' basketball coach. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff Hoyle. Softball coach extraordinaire, Barry Haskell. Our next inductee played football, basketball, and baseball from the class of 1970. Please welcome Jay Regan. Our next inductee who played football and basketball from the class of 1974, Mark DaCosta. And his good friend, Mr. Bell, is accepted. Randy Bell. Our next inductee played field hockey, basketball, and softball from the class of 1984. Please welcome Sue Silva. Our next inductee played soccer, ran track from the class of 1995. Please welcome Jeremy Costa. Our next inductee was a volleyball player and basketball player from the class of 2004. Please welcome Jessica Smith Pellenberg. Our next inductee played soccer, basketball, and tennis from the class of 2004. Please welcome Stacy Furtado. Our next inductee was a volleyball player and also in track athlete from the class of 2006. Please welcome Carrie Barranquino. Our next inductee was a football, basketball, baseball, and tennis player from the class of 2009. Please welcome Justin Mello. Also from the class of 2009, played football, baseball, and basketball, and tennis. Please welcome Sean Sylvia. Our next inductee ran all the way here from a wedding, not his own, but he's here on time, and we're glad of that. Please welcome hockey extraordinaire Garrett Allen, class of 2011. Our next inductee played soccer, basketball, and ran track from the class of 2012. Please welcome Catherine Hiller. And finally, our final inductee this evening played field hockey, ran track, played basketball, also on the lacrosse team from the class of 2012. Please welcome Riley Marion Brandos. Now, before we actually get settled in here and have some nice dinner and all that good stuff, first things first, we have a great video that we'd like to play for you right now that I know we're going to run here, and we ask you to pay attention right here to the screen off to my left.
Value of athletics. They realize that it's other half of education, that the competition, the sacrifice, and team unity are the cornerstones of life for each and every one of us here.
It was clear when the athletes who are up for consideration tonight were competing. It was clear that their accomplishments on the athletic field would always be among the best of those who had ever dressed in the uniform of Dartmouth High School.
We've all walked into that front area at Dartmouth High School and seen them pictures on the wall. Some of them are so old that they're still black and white.
Now gets it back, fires and scores. Riley Marion came from the stick of number 18. That was Riley Marion.
Pass to Hiller. With their athleticism, she takes it strong to the hole.
And scores! Penalty kick goal by Catherine Hiller. Fourth, but Allen comes out, and Allen scores!
What a great point by Stacy. Over to Vieira, down low to Smith, up with the left hand again, and it's good. Watch this drive by Sean. It's just his quickness. He gets around Clifford. He's able to beat him.
He's got it, and Sylvia's going to go in for a touchdown. Sylvia fakes one way, throws the other. Mello with a spectacular catch. Standing ovation here from the fans.
Good evening to all the inductees, their family, and friends that are here tonight. I'd like to start tonight by introducing the principal of Dartmouth High School, who was the instigator to get this thing started back up again. He is one that called his old man who was retired and kind of asked me to start up, and I have really the best committee, which I'll be introducing to you shortly, that I've ever worked with in all my years of service. Right now, Ryan Shea, would you please stand up? And he's in the back, principal of the school. Now, the reason that we are here tonight is having the first Athletic Hall of Fame induction in 6 years. The effort, commitment, and dedication of the Hall of Fame Selection Committee. As I read off your name, please stand up, remain standing until the entire committee is called, and we will give them the applause they deserve. One of my co-chairs, Steve Gasper. Co-chair, Maureen Waltz. Mary Jo Olander. Scott Boudria. Andrew Christofoli. Rachel Lassie. Carlos Oliveira. Jim Thompson. Chad Amaral. Mike Capello. Mike Granfield. Mike Martin, Peter Rossi, Rick White, Beth Ogwin, Walter Farrier, Andrew Hart, Tom McDermott, Hillary Souza, and Joe McCarthy. Please give them a round of applause. We would not be here tonight without the dedication. They've been meeting for 18 months to get this off the ground, and they did a fantastic job. I would like to do a special thank you to Chad Amaral and his co-workers at DCTV for the pre-ceremony video you saw during the cocktail hour. I've been to a lot of Hall of Fame inductions, but I've never seen players go. And now you could tell the old guys because we have still pictures. The young guys have motion pictures, so there's a little difference there, but that's okay. We're good. A special thank you to Andy Christofoli, the athletic director, for all the work he put in on selecting the artwork for the awards that we have tonight, and also the work he did on the program. And it was just two hard jobs, but Andy, thank you very much for your effort. And a special thank you to Beth Ogwin, who planned the centerpieces that are at the table tonight, the nice work. So again, Beth, thank you. The last topic that I will discuss tonight is what's called a Dartmouth Pride Bricks. And there's right on the first door, there's a poster board. If you haven't seen it, if you've been to Dartmouth High School, as you enter from the parking lot into the main building, on your left, there are quadrants that have bricks in it. And the bricks are sold every year. We try to sell them to the graduating seniors. We had a couple this year, graduating 24. Parents bought it. They're in the ground before graduation every year. And we ended up, making as a fundraiser. Matter of fact, 2 inductees this year have already bought their bricks that has Hall of Fame 2024 in it. I want to thank them for doing that. But there's applications there. People that's good for parents who graduated, good for memories, it's good for children. It's a wonderful fundraiser activity that we're running, but it's a memory forever. I know I have 3 children, all 3 got it for Christmas presents. So I bought them a brick. But if you're interested, please look over there, and it'll be a great job. I'd like to congratulate everyone again. I know we're here for a good reason to recognize. You just contributed to a raffle. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Let us tell you about our first awardee this evening. Coach Barry Haskell. His tenure as the girls softball coach at Dartmouth High School from 1979 to 1988 left an indelible mark on the program, shaping it into a powerhouse and instilling a culture of pride and success. Additionally, his contributions as the junior varsity field hockey coach from 1980 to 1987 further enriched the athletic landscape of Dartmouth High School. In addition to his coaching accomplishments, Barry cherished the relationships he built with student athletes, their families, fellow coaches, and the community. And following his successful tenure at Dartmouth High School, Barry continued his coaching career at Harvard University from 1989 to 1994, further solidifying his reputation as both a respected leader in the softball community. Barry's family and his wife, Wendy Haskell, daughters Melissa Haskell, Elizabeth Haskell, and Sarah Haskell Aruda, as well as his grandchildren, Gabby Aruda, Grace Haskell, and Ryan Aruda, provided unwavering support throughout his coaching journey, embodying the importance of the family and community in his life. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Barry Haskell.
Thank you very much. Mr. Shea, Hall of Fame committee. As a Dartmouth High School graduate, varsity athlete, teacher, and coach, it's an honor to be inducted into the Dartmouth High School Athletic Hall of Fame. I began coaching in 1979. Title IX was just beginning to impact high school girls sports. Most of our players came through Dartmouth Girls Little League. They came to our program with enthusiasm and determination, and the high school program began to grow and flourish. By 1984, many of our female athletes were working year-round. Some were multi-sport athletes, while others, especially pitchers, worked to develop their skills in the off-season and travel ball. We became a tournament team for the next 5 seasons, winning Division I sectional championships in 1984, 86, and 88, plus an Eastern Mass championship and state championships in 1984. The 1984 softball team was also inducted into the DHS Hall of Fame. Team sports are not only about wins and losses, but about relationships. For student athletes, it's about relationships with teammates and peers. For a coach, it's relationships with players, their families, colleagues, and coaches, such as Glenn DeManch, who became head softball coach after my tenure at Dartmouth High School. And of course, the relationship with our community. Team and family relationships were strengthened through early season travel weekends to the North Shore of Maine. The excitement of league rivalries with New Bedford and Durfee. Traveling with the 1988 team to play in the Dutch Invitational Tournament in Apeldoorn, Holland have always been highlights. I've been fortunate to have friendships with many former players. Kathy Silva Cachula became my assistant coach at Harvard. As we travel south, we stay with Joanne Vieira at her bed and breakfast in Darien, Georgia. I worked softball practice with Stephanie Manny in Florida. We spent Christmas Eve with Laurie Silva Costa. We dog sit for Erin DeManch, Anderson. I even called Beth Perry Porto with billing questions at Hawthorne Medical. Nothing pleases me more than watching Beth Brooks Arguin coaching our field hockey and softball teams. There are so many more that I could mention. Players may not remember what you taught them, but they always remember how you treated them. The success of the softball program was due to the support of many. Assistant coaches Glenn DeManch, Steve Frank, and Mark Robidoux. Dartmouth High School and district administrators, Athletic Director Carla Lynch, Principals Ted Small and Don King, Superintendent Tom Kelly, all found ways to support the increased number of participants with additional coaches, uniforms, and buses in times of very tight budgets. They always looked for ways to say yes. In 1978, there were 13 girls playing softball in grades 9 through 12. In 1988, my last season, there were 80 female athletes, with a freshman, 2 JV teams, and a varsity team. The growth and success of the softball program was due to the hard work of so many players, coaches, families, school staff, and community members. When I retired as school superintendent in Plymouth, I was asked, "Are you going to get a retirement job?" I'd always answer, "This was my retirement job. My first love was coaching." I would like to thank my family for all the support over the years, especially my wife, Wendy. Thank you for including me with so many outstanding athletes, teams, and coaches. Congratulations to the Dartmouth High School Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2024.
Congratulations once again, Coach Haskell. Great award. Our next inductee is Jeff Hoyle. Jeff is a 25-year tenure as the girls basketball coach at Dartmouth High School. It is marked by an extraordinary record of achievement and lasting impact on the sport. Serving as the head coach for 18 years, Jeff's leadership, dedication, and passion for the game elevated the program to some unprecedented heights. Jeff's coaching prowess shone brightest during the team's remarkable playoff runs. His leadership led to 4 appearances in the Division I South Sectional Semifinals, 3 appearances in the Division I South Sectional Finals, and 2 Division I South Sectional Championships. The pinnacle, of course, was his coaching career came with the team's Division I State Championship victory in 2005, a historic milestone that still remains the only state basketball championship in the history of Dartmouth High School. Off the court, Jeff finds unwavering support from his family, celebrating 50 years of marriage with his wife, Ann. They have 2 sons, Joshua P. Hoyle and Adam J. Hoyle, and they are blessed with 4 grandchildren, Emma, Grace, Addison, and Connor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff Hoyle.
Thank you. My grandkids were glad to hear their name mentioned, so I'm happy about that. I'd like to start off by congratulating the other nominees and thanking everyone on the committee for this honor. I want to thank my wife. I could never repay her for the sacrifice she made over 3 decades so I could coach other people's children. No longer does she have to hang up the cross stitch that said, "We interrupt this marriage for the basketball season." I'm proud to stand here in front of my sons, their families, and 3 out of 4 grandchildren. I'm glad they're here to share this moment with me. Now the question becomes, how does a bench warmer from Coyle High School, the 4th guard in a 3-guard rotation, end up in an athletic Hall of Fame? It started with, well, obviously, you get talented players like many of the ones who are up here tonight. You have to have talented players, and you have to surround yourself with very good staff. My first coaching experience at Dartmouth High School was when my friend Joe Siegel asked me if I wanted to be a volunteer with the freshman program. And I did that for 3 years with him. in 1989, I believe it was, 86 rather, but I think it was with Joe Siegel. In 1989, Mark Robidoux asked me if I wanted to coach girls basketball. And as you can see, I'm not a young man. When I was in high school, girls basketball was completely different. And when Mark asked me to join the girls staff, I said, I don't even know the rules. And he said, no, it's the same now, three-point shot and everything. So I worked with Mark for about 7 years. And then later on in 1996, I became the head coach. Once you become the head coach, that's when the pressure really starts. I have to say, Colin Lynch nominated me for that spot. I was happy to take it. And over the first few years, to be honest, we had some lean years. Tommy McDermott became the AD after Colin Lynch, and I have to give him a lot of credit for keeping me sane during all that time because, again, when you need the encouragement, when you get the awards when you're successful. When you need the encouragement is when you're not successful because that's when you're working the hardest. So over the years, I've had the experience to have some great coaches and educators on my staff. Darren Doan, Rochelle Gaidu, Michelle Alexander, Shane Fennessy, Scott Richards, Brian Jalbert, all contributed to the success of the program, and I'm thankful for their efforts. But one of the best moves I ever made was my association with two gentlemen at the table way over there, Mark Poirier and Scott Boudria. Mark Poirier came up to me and asked me if I would like to coach. He started the soccer program, by the way, at Dartmouth High School. And he asked me one time would I like to be an assistant coach on the soccer team. My only experience at that time had been coaching my sons in youth soccer. So I said, well, if no one else applies, I'll do it until you get someone more qualified. I ended up working with Mark and Scott on the soccer program for well over a decade. I couldn't even tell you how long. It's also good to get a different perspective on how he ran his program. I have to say, Mark is a gentleman. He's always well prepared. My intensity was mellowed by his calm. The worst I ever heard from Mark, and his soccer players out there could attest to this, when things were going wrong, he'd say unlucky. So he got me to settle down a bit, no more technicals after I started working with Mark. And what words of praise could I possibly say about my friend Coach Boudria that he hasn't already said about himself? He is one of the biggest trash talkers you'll ever meet, as anyone knows who has ever played basketball with him. But in all honesty, he's a great coach, a great family man, pretty good cook, a thoughtful and generous friend. I think he even told me once that he got a few votes for People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive, but I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't be standing here tonight without the contributions from my assistant coaches and the lessons learned from Mark and Scott and the other people who I work with, and without having some of the best athletes at Dartmouth High. The Steve Prefontaine quote, anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift, has always been special to me. We as a team and as a staff tried to live up to that, prepare, work hard, execute, and deserve victory. And thanks to the effort of the many people who have touched my life, we succeeded in that far more than we failed. Thank you for this honor. Congratulations to everyone. Gave me some Bitcoin.
And that's all it'll be, is just a bit? Yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our next inductees from the class of 1970, we'd like you to welcome Jay Regan. Jeremiah J. Regan's high school career is marked by his exceptional athleticism and his contributions to the football and basketball teams at Dartmouth High School. Competing in football, basketball, and baseball, Jay showcased his versatility and his skills across multiple sports. In football, his talent was undeniable as a 3-year varsity starter and a key member of the team's offense and defense. On the basketball court, Jay's scoring prowess and defensive prowess made him a standout player for the Dartmouth High School team. As Jay continues his journey in Florida, his legacy as a triple threat athlete at Dartmouth High School remains a source of pride for his family, his friends, and his community. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1970, please welcome Jay Regan.
8 reconstructive knee surgeries will do that to you. I've got a little bit different speech tonight. I hope some people can treat it as an allegory, learn some lessons from it. What I'm about to share with you largely has a happy ending, and I'll get to that, but there's some rough patches that I need to address. Some of you may be wondering why I'm being inducted into the Dartmouth High School Athletic Hall of Fame at the ripe old age of 72. And Mike's probably cringing right now that I'm going to address this. What happened was that I deeply offended and hurt an extremely influential and respected leader in the Dartmouth High School athletic community. I'm fully accountable for that. I take 100% responsibility for those actions, and I definitely did hurt this person. I was 18 years old at the time. My dad was dying of MS, so I was a little bit of a mixed-up kid. In any event, let's move on. I want to thank Mike Shea, Steve Gasser, and the selection committee for being kind enough to focus on my athletic accomplishments at Dartmouth High School rather than my character flaws. I'm extremely honored and grateful for this induction, and happy to be here with all of you tonight. We'll get through this quick. And I think we'll get to the good part in a minute, and I think there's a lesson to be learned here. I've lived largely a very large life. Some examples: I was president of my high school class for a year. I dated the prom queen. I lettered in 3 sports, captained 2 of them, received an Ivy League education, played Division I college basketball, married an exceptional woman who was the president of the Dartmouth High School 1971 class, had 2 terrific children with her who are here tonight. Worked on Wall Street. I was the lead analyst on the largest leveraged buyout ever at that time, done by a company that's now known as J.P. Morgan Chase, and was a top producing salesperson at 4 different companies during my employment. I've also won 8 low-gross golf titles at LPGA International in Daytona Beach, which is where I reside currently. Don't mention that to be immodest. I just want to tell you there's been some success in my life. Oh, and for the last 12 years, actually for 20 years, I've been in Florida. I play with 2 rock bands, very accomplished rock bands out of Orlando. I now play keyboards professionally, even though I've never had a piano lesson. So it's been a pretty large life. Unfortunately, I was also a substance abuser, and that's what I want to address today, in case someone could take some solace from this. Alcohol was my primary problem. There was another substance involved. I won't mention it. It was the 80s. It was Studio 54. Think about it. And although I only used these substances for less than a third of my life, the impact was devastating. I'll not give you a litany of entirely what was lost or damaged in my life, but instead simply give you a couple of the saddest examples. I absolutely failed as a husband, and deeply hurt and disappointed one of the most beautiful, intelligent, and compassionate women who's ever graced the earth. I also left some scars, emotional scars in my children, and lost jobs over my substance abuse problems. I was also very, very reckless with my body and with my entire life. My 8 reconstructive knee surgeries are evidence of that. I don't have this in my speech, but one of my injuries, we're playing at Princeton, I had 10 points the night before at the Palestra in Philadelphia. My coach puts me in with 3 minutes left, we're down by 30. A guy I played against in prep school was taking a layup. There was no way I could block it, but I said it's not going in. I was running full speed. I caught it at the top of the box. Jimmy Busman was there. But my feet went right under the board. I landed on my right leg, snapped it completely back. You never heard 9,000 people shut up. You couldn't hear a pin drop. But that's how reckless I was. I was out of my mind. Okay, so let's, I don't say any of this to be dramatic. There's a point to my doing this. I'm here to relay a message tonight, and I'm just setting the stage for delivering it. Let's move on to the more uplifting part of my story. If I can stay sober until October 1st of this year, it'll be 30 years without a drink or a drug. Without a drink or a drug that has not been prescribed by a physician. I don't have my glasses with me. You give me my glasses, make this a little bit easier. Thank you, Michelle. I'm sorry it's taking a little time. That's what I'm 71. These young whippersnappers have half the life I've had. So there's some stories to tell. All right, so it'll be 30 years since I've had a drop of alcohol or used any drug that was not prescribed to me by a physician. Alcoholics Anonymous has given me a terrific framework for living and making better decisions. Almost every meaningful thing in my life, relationships with my children, family and friends, and my health have all improved dramatically. I like the man that I see in the mirror today. It took me 25 years of sobriety. Way longer than most to forgive myself for being the despicable person I was when I was younger. But that forgiveness and the acceptance that I was emotionally and spiritually sick and not evil is key to my ongoing sobriety. No time today to share all the ways AA has allowed me to work on my character defects. Instead, I'll just mention one character defect that hurt me very badly, and here's the part where hopefully people can take something from this. I've worked very, very hard over the last 30 years to eliminate every shred of arrogance from my being and inject as much humility as possible. Please allow me to give you my preferred definitions here. Arrogance is believing you know it all, and I suffered from that dramatically. Humility, while not thinking less of what you know or your accomplishments, I believe is respecting what other people know and their accomplishments a lot more. So what I'm saying is, with arrogance, you can't learn a thing. You think you know everything. You're not listening when people speak. When you have humility, you can grow throughout your entire life because you respect every person you meet. I think that's very, very important. The other thing is, it's so much greater going through life feeling part of rather than feeling special all the time. You know, Sean, you can relate to this. I believe my press clippings. You know what I mean? President of this, captain of that. You know, when I put alcohol on top of that, it was just a really bad scene. My participation in sports has helped me along the journey of recovery. Playing sports allowed me to become resilient and tough. I'm a tough Dartmouth kid. That's flat out fact. And not to give up. And of course, there are great benefits of understanding teamwork. A lot of my team is sitting right here, and I'm going to address them. My daughters, Whitney and Taylor, are here, and the following is not daddy speak. They're two of the most perceptive, competent, caring, and exceptional human beings I've ever met. They could have turned their backs on me while I struggled, but never did. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. I've gotten similar support from my brother Richard, my sisters Pat and Beth, some of the most generous people I know, my brother-in-law Eli, my sister-in-law Patty. To me, I dropped the in-law. Those are both brothers and sisters. Despite their concerns about my behavior, while I was still drinking, they've shown me nothing but unconditional love and support throughout the years. My friends here tonight, Jimmy Buzzin, who I played with at Brown, played for a great high school, Moeller in Cincinnati. Wayne Hamlet, who's my quarterback in high school. Gary Carlin, my point guard in high school. Andy Horvitz, one of my best friends in high school. An outstanding golfer who's been at PGA school a number of times. Again, all of these people, as I recovered, I was able to rekindle those relationships. Any one of them will tell you, I was MIA for 20 years, 25 years. I have more in common with Mark DeCosta than anyone else here tonight. And I could have gone that way. It could have ended that way. I'll tell you that right now, but it didn't. And these people stuck with me. Here's the big finish and the model by which I live my life today. It's never too late to be who you're intended to be. Just don't give up. So I'm very grateful to regain my footing as a productive, caring, and functioning human being in virtually all other important areas of my life. You're looking at a content, self-actualized, and very happy person addressing you today. Again, I'm deeply appreciative of being inducted into the Dartmouth High School Athletic Hall of Fame, especially at this late stage in my life. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you again, Jay. Right now, we'd like to introduce you to our next inductee, Mark DeCosta from the class of 1974. Mark was a high school journey at Dartmouth High School was defined by his exceptional athletic prowess and his unwavering determination, particularly in football and basketball. Throughout his 4 years, Mark's commitment to excellence and team spirit earned him numerous awards and accolades, solidifying his status as a standout player. In football, Mark's talent as a defensive back became evident during his junior year when he set a school record with 7 interceptions in a single season. On the basketball court, his athleticism and leadership were equally impressive. Known for leaving everything on the field or the court every time he played, Mark's tenacity and team-first mentality endeared him to fans and teammates alike, leaving an enduring legacy of sportsmanship and camaraderie. Supported by his family, who were his biggest fans, Mark's high school athletic career was marked by excellence, hard work, and a relentless pursuit of success. His legacy as a talented athlete and ultimate team player continues to inspire those who had the privilege of watching him compete, serving as a shining example of what it means to embody the spirit of sportsmanship and dedication. Here to accept the award for Mark DeCosta, the class of 1974, is his good friend, family friend, Randy Val.
Jay, your honesty, integrity, and truth, nothing but net, brother. Nothing but net. Dartmouth High's in the house, aren't we? Dartmouth High's in the house. My name is Randy Valls. I am a lifelong friend of the DeCosta family, and I'm so happy here to accept the honor from Mark. If you had a picture of 5'6" dynamo who approached life in sports like a 6'5", smart, tough, determined, highly competitive, that was Mark. I was a witness to it all, both as a friend and a teammate. He was larger than life, had quite a high school career. Simply put, he was a big deal at Dartmouth High. He was on the honor roll. He was known and liked by everyone. And in sports, he really dominated. The guy was all heart and he never quit. Full speed ahead, damn the torpedoes, that was Mike. This guy was all heart. He would go toe to toe with anyone, no matter what size. And more times than not, he succeeded. He was so much fun to play and watch. He tried hard. You couldn't help but root for him. He truly left it all out on the field and court. He played both varsity sports since sophomore year and was the captain of both the football and basketball team. After 50 years later, when his name comes up, people still reminisce about how good he was, but how great the guy really was. He was known as a fierce competitor, a true team player, and someone who made others better than him. And one of the things that really made him special was that he was humble. He just loved competing. I came across a couple of quotes from his coaches that really sum it up. Mark is the best defensive back, pound for pound, I've ever had, said Colin Lynch, football player and athletic director. Mark is the fastest player on the team and is becoming a complete player. That was said by Pete Caudette, the basketball coach who came out of Dartmouth High and went on to have a quite promising coaching career. Pete truly loved the game and saw everything Mark was special in, and Mark developed him to lead the team in assists, steals, rebounds, and scoring. Mark was awesome. Mark was such a clutch player and was a great under pressure. He was definitely very athletic, but it was his brain that set him apart. He really had the vision to see the whole field and the whole court. His most memorable moments included playing at the Boston Garden twice for the state championship and in football, where they had an undefeated season his senior year. I know if Mark was here, his focus would be to mention some of the people he was fortunate to play with, including Bob Schoening, Scott Sharrock, Dave the Rave Oliveira, and Jimmy Collins in basketball, Marty Costa, Mike Costa, Dennis Aguiar, and Randy the Bear Coleman in football. And we can't forget Jay Blanchard, his best friend throughout his life and a great football player in his own right. Throughout the years, countless people have mentioned how Mark belonged in the Hall of Fame the day has finally arrived. He's here. Since his introduction was announced, we received so much positive feedback And this quote from our friend Tom Bastoni, who's my neighbor in Pensacola, Florida, captures the sentiments perfectly. He said Mark was not only one of the toughest guys, both physically and mentally, but he was so smart as any athlete on the field or the court, and he was always one step ahead of the opponent for the tackle or interception in football and the steal or the rebound in basketball. He went to say, as we all know, he raised a lot of hell, but he was our friend, and you had a bond forever. His friendship was priceless, and it was. Mark was one pound for pound, the toughest guy I've ever known, and the sweetest guy. He never talked about himself. His accolades always remained to us to talk about, and he was fantastic. I wish Mark were here to celebrate with us, but I am honored to accept this award on behalf of his family, and I know they are grateful to Jimmy Thompson and the entire Hall of Fame committee for making this happen. You know, Mark's brothers, Dale and Todd, they're excellent athletes themselves, and they have wonderful wives and such a great family. And last but not least, I want to mention Mark's mom, Flo DeCosta, because that's where he got his athletic ability. The love of competition and sheer determination. She was undoubtedly his biggest fan, and we're so happy she could be with us tonight. God is good. Thank you very much.
Our next inductee is Susan Silver from the class of 1984. And the cowbells rang from the mountaintops. Okay, Susan Silver's high school athletic career stands as a testament to her remarkable versatility, leadership, and skills across 3 sports: field hockey, basketball, and softball. Competing passionately in each sport throughout her 4-year tenure, Susan left an indelible mark on her teams, earning numerous accolades and championships along the way. As captain of the field hockey team, Susan exemplified leadership and talent, earning selection to the All-Star team in both 1982 and 1983. In basketball, her impact was equally profound, and on the softball field, Susan's contributions were indispensable. Off the field, Susan finds strength and support in her loving family, including her mother, Nancy Silva, boyfriend Todd Beatty, sons Andrew Ferreira and Matt Myers, granddaughter Olivia Ferreira, and grandson Preston Ferreira. The unwavering support has undoubtedly played a significant role in Susan's success both on and off the field, serving as a source of inspiration and encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the class of 1984, hit the cowbell, Susan Silva.
Thank you, thank you. It's an honor for me to be here. It's an honor for me to be here tonight, being inducted into the Dartmouth Hall of Fame. I want to thank my mom and the biggest support system, Nancy Silver, for all your support throughout my 4 years at Dartmouth High School. Your unwavering support and guidance shaped me into the person I am today. To my family and friends, thank you for being here today and for your continued support. Your presence means the world to me. To one of my coaches here tonight, Barry Haskell, your exceptional guidance and belief in my profile has shaped my journey as a softball player and athlete. Your impact on my growth and success is immeasurable. Thank you. And thank you to my 1984 teammates that are all here tonight. One of my fondest memories of Dartmouth High School is winning the 1984 state softball championship. Leading the team as a captain was an incredible honor that prepared me for the next stage in my athletic center career. Then I continued on to Dean Junior College. I played 3-sport athlete and captain and was made possible by the strong foundation laid by my amazing coaches at Dartmouth High. They prepared me just not for college athletics, but life itself. I am deeply honored to be inducted into the Dartmouth Athletic Hall of Fame. The recognition is a testament to the support, guidance, and community that have been instrumental in my journey. I would like to give a shout out to all my family and friends, my co-workers, and my bingo squad out there. Thank you, and have a good night.
Susan obviously didn't know we have electronics now and that they have microphones. It's okay. I feel like I was just waiting for Garrett Morris to do a top story tonight, and there would be Susan right there. Our next inductee is Jeremy Costa, but Jeremy was a high school athletic career at Dartmouth High School was defined by his exceptional achievements and his contributions to both track and also to soccer. Excelling in 2 sports, Jeremy's talent and dedication earned him numerous accolades and fond memories that continue to resonate. On the soccer field, Jeremy's skill and leadership were evident as he played varsity for 4 years. In track, Jerry's accomplishments were equally impressive. Off the field, in track, Jeremy finds strength and support in his loving family, including his parents, John and Janice Costa, his wife, Christy, daughter, Ava, and son, Nathan. Their unwavering encouragement and pride in his achievements have undoubtedly played a very significant role in Jeremy's success, both in athletics and in life. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 1995, please welcome Jeremy Costa.
Thank you. This is quite an honor, and I'm grateful for the Hall of Fame committee on my induction into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations also to all my fellow inductees being honored tonight. During my time at Dartmouth High, from the day you stepped through the doors, there was an overwhelming sense of pride surrounding the athletic program. To be honest, it was difficult not to succeed if you just paid attention, listened, and followed through with what the amazing people leading the programs at the time were promoting. If I could paint you a picture, Mr. Lynch was the athletic director. The gymnasium is named after him. Mr. Gasper was the basketball coach. The basketball court is named after him. Mr. Porter was the vice principal and a track official for most of my meets. The outdoor track is named after him. Then we basically had a Hall of Fame coach in almost every sport. Joe McCarthy, I believe my coach, should have the indoor track named after him. June Lack, Sean McDonald, and Coach Hoyle being inducted tonight. These were mentors that spoke of leadership, respect, hard work, discipline, and being a true student athlete. It was a special time to be amongst these Dartmouth icons. As far as some fond memories, there are 3 that stand out amongst many. The first was being selected as the outstanding male student athlete for the class of 1995. My nameplate for that award is between Brian Rose, a former Red Sox pitcher, and Jessica Gasper, probably the best girls basketball player ever at Dartmouth High School. Witnessing those 2 and their achievements motivated me on a daily basis. The second was being elected captain by my peers for both soccer and track. Having the trust and respect of my teammates meant everything to me. The last memory, and probably a large part of why I'm here today, was tying the 25-year-old record at the time for the 300-yard dash. Yes, I would go on to break the record, but the day I tied the record, that race and every detail is burned into my brain to this day. I was a junior, we were competing for the Class B state championship, and I was having a good year, but I definitely was not seen as a favorite to win the 300 that day. My qualifying heat got me to the finals, and Coach McCarthy's advice to me before the race was to get to the tennis balls first. For those that don't know, that was the point in the race in the 300 where you could move out of your dedicated lane and get to the inside lane, the most preferable place to be on the track. It was really hard. You wanted to get to that point because it's really hard to get past the runner on the final turn. Well, I did not get to the tennis balls first that day. And I definitely heard Coach McCarthy saying, I have to go, now you gotta go. And I was able to overtake the leader, and I won the race. I turned around to see my time on the clock, but before I could, Coach McCarthy had already sprinted across the track, lifted me up, told me I had tied the record and was a state champion. That moment and the moments right after embodied Dartmouth pride, a coach and athlete celebrating a goal after countless hours of hard work, my teammates and their parents, who Coach Joe McCarthy always strategically placed at the finish line at Harvard, celebrating, and my parents in shock of what had just happened. Truly an amazing memory. In closing, if I could express a couple of things I am thankful for. I am thankful for my mom, who was my biggest fan, gave me confidence, constantly telling me I was the best, even when I wasn't. And my father, who gave me the drive to keep pushing to be better constantly, telling me I could always do better. There was always a but with my dad. I'm thankful for my brother Jonathan, who was my opponent, my older brother Jonathan, who was my opponent in basically every backyard sport you could think of, pushing me on a daily basis, and I truly think made me the athlete that I was. I'm thankful for the timing of this induction, because my daughter Ava, a 3-season athlete, just graduated from Dartmouth High, and my son Nathan will be entering Dartmouth High as a freshman this fall, so they can both appreciate what the ceremony means. And lastly, I'm thankful for my wife, who after all these years of listening to me tell high school glory days stories, may actually believe half of them. Thank you, and congratulations to all.
Our next inductee this evening is Jessica Smith Pellenberg. Now, Jessica Smith Pellenberg is a distinguished athlete, celebrated for her outstanding contributions to basketball and volleyball during her high school career at Dartmouth High School. Her exceptional talent, dedication, and versatility earned her numerous accolades and left a lasting impression and impact on the athletic community. Her high school career is adorned with an impressive array of honors that reflect her extraordinary skills and hard work. 3-time Eastern Athletic Conference All-Star, recognized for a consistent high-level performance in basketball. Also locally and regionally, Jessica was celebrated as a Herald News All-Star, a member of the Boston Globe Super Team and the Boston Herald Dream Team, and was named the New Bedford Standard Times Girls Basketball Player of the Year. Her high school journey includes pivotal moments of triumph, such as a significant victory against Apponequet during her freshman year and the milestone of scoring her 1,000th career point, celebrated with the unwavering support of her family, friends, and teammates. Family plays a central role in Jessica's life. She's the daughter of Julie and Bill Smith and has two siblings, Michelle Vasconcelos and Jordan Sykes. Jessica's a devoted wife to Andy Pellenberg and a nurturing mother to their three children, Hunter, Jasper, and Fletcher. Their family is further enriched by their beloved dogs, Juggernaut and Tortilla. Oh, there you go. Nothing like having a couple of good names like that. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2004, Jessica Smith of Pellenberg.
Good evening, everyone. First, I just want to say how humbled I am by this incredible honor. I am beyond grateful to the committee for selecting me, and a big thank you to the person who nominated me. Being in the Dartmouth High School Hall of Fame has always been a dream of mine, so it really means a lot to me to be here right now amongst these other incredible inductees. I want to thank my family and my sweet friends from Virginia for being here tonight. But most of all, I wouldn't be here without my parents, Julie and Bill, and my sisters, Michelle and Jordan. I know many a weekend and weeknight were spent at my games and practices, and my AAU tournaments turned into our family vacations. And I know you all had to sacrifice a lot of your own lives for me to live my dream. But regardless, you've still always been there to support me and cheer me on all of my athletic endeavors, all of my entire life, from starting out in D-Gal to playing at George Mason, so I love you guys so much. One of my favorite lyrics from one of my favorite songs by The Killers goes like this: and sometimes you close your eyes and see the place where you used to live when you were young. Whenever I hear that lyric and think of the place where I used to live when I was young, I always see our old house on Nuthatch Lane, the sleepovers and tanning sessions with Jordan on the trampoline in the backyard, the late night ham and cheese roll-ups that Mish would happily whip up for us, watching Lifetime movies on the couch with my best friend Scott when we were supposed to be in AP Bio. Sorry, Miss Shabika. Our old family dogs running free through the woods in the back, and eventually our backyard wedding. Growing up in this town and playing basketball for Dartmouth High School were some of the greatest times of my life, some of the highest highs and the lowest lows, but I miss it every day. I will always have a special place in my heart for the town of Dartmouth and the people who live here and support the girls' basketball program, and the people who supported me when I was just a girl. The feeling of Dartmouth pride runs very deep within the very roots of this town, and it was truly a magical place to grow up. I used to dream of living here forever and having my kids play sports at the same high school that I went to and loved so fiercely, my legacy, if you will. But things don't always turn out the way that you plan when you're 16 years old. So by being inducted into the Hall of Fame, like so many great players and coaches who came before me, at least a small part of me will always remain in Dartmouth. Congratulations to the other inductees, one of whom was my teammates for many years, Stacy Furtado, and another who was our coach, Mr. Jeff Hoyle. I'd like to think that we all played a small part in, each other's journeys to being here tonight, so thank you guys for being a part of my journey. And signing off with Just Smith number 5, one more time. Glory to Dartmouth forever.
Our next inductee is Stacy Furtado from the class of 2004. Stacy's tenure at Dartmouth High School epitomized exceptional athleticism, leadership, and unwavering dedication across multiple sports. Competing in soccer, basketball, and tennis, Stacy left an indelible mark on each and every team she represented, garnering numerous accolades and championships along the way. In basketball, Stacy's senior year stood out as the pinnacle of success. As co-captain, she spearheaded her team to an undefeated regular season, boasting a flawless 22-0 record. In soccer, Stacy's talent and leadership shone shone brightly. Honored as the Eastern Athletic All-Star and member of the Standard Time Super Teams, she played a pivotal role in the team's success. Beyond the championships and accolades, Stacy's fondest memories revolved around the camaraderie she shared victories with her teammates, from the electrifying atmosphere of night games in soccer to unforgettable basketball runs in her senior year. Off the field, Stacy found unwavering support from her loving family, including her wife Jessica, mother Ann, father Tom, and brother Paul, whose encouragement and love bolstered her throughout her athletic career. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2004, please welcome Stacy Furtado.
All right, so fellow nominees. I think a lot of us came here today with a similar mindset about the sports we play and why we do it. We're competitive. We like to meet and overcome a challenge. And because we're Dartmouth High grads, we like to win. But we all experience some things that are different too. And that's where we've all discovered the magic of sports and what they mean to us in different ways. All the gifts it's given us. For me, as I sat down to write this speech, I couldn't stop thinking about the little things. We had a lot of success, as you just heard from Jess before me, Coach Hoyle before that. We won a lot of games. We played really well, but it's all these little moments I kept coming back to. It started with my dad, great soccer player himself. He played keep away in the backyard, starting basically when I could barely walk. My first real memory of competitive sports was in the under-7 DYSAs. We played at SMU still back then. I was on the light pink team. I remember it so clearly. I was very excited. And at that age, kids usually chase the ball around in adorable packs. I'm sure a lot of you see that with your children these days or grandchildren. One weekend, something just clicked, and I remembered him and I playing in the backyard. And at the age of 7, I realized that I could do what my dad did every day. I could put my foot on the ball. I could stop. I could change direction. My dad, who, for those of you who know him and love him, is a pretty quiet guy. He stood on the sideline and said, "Yes, Stacy!" because he couldn't believe that I did it. And from that day on, the ball was a magnet to my foot. Couldn't get it off me. And I have coaches here today, Coach Hoyle, Coach Charest, Coach Boudria, Coach Poirier, and I have small memories from each of them too. It's probably not even what they'd expect. Coach Hoyle, it's Whaler Camp as a 7th grader. I blocked a shot on a fast break and you were reffing the game. And he screamed, "Nice body control, Furtado." And it was the first time in my life I realized that that's what that was, that it was actually something that not everyone could do, that I did and I enjoyed doing, but that I actually could control my body and do something different with it that actually helped impact the game. It was a skill that I could leverage. I loved defense after that. I couldn't get enough of it. Coach Charest, I remember the extra hours for tennis it took to fix my serve. Sorry, we kept him over a little bit extra hours sometimes after practice. Couldn't quite get home. But you sat there some weeks, and Carol, I really appreciate you giving me the extra time. But it was kind of, I had a powerful serve, but it was like Pete Sampras with a jello arm, basically. So he sat there and he worked on it with me until I was winning singles matches in playoff games because I had that ace in my pocket. He wouldn't give up on me until I did. Boudria, where are you over there? Yeah, you already got called out before. So he was a much younger man. You're gonna have to use your imagination and think about that. He used to be much younger when I was in high school, but we'd run hills in the back, and he was so much younger that he'd actually set the pace on those hills. He couldn't do that now, but he used to do it back then, just trust me on this. But I'd try and keep up with him at the front. And so we'd sit running at the old high school, running these hills, and he'd sit there and he'd say, "Furtado, it's only gonna hurt for a little bit, push through." And he was right, it only hurt for a minute after, once you were sucking wind, but you push past the cramps, the lungs, the urge to give up. It only hurt for a second, but you learn something every time. And Coach Poirier, my memory links to that memory of Boudria too. After the biggest playoff game we played together my senior year against Weymouth, we scored a minute into that game on a lucky bounce. My assignment for the rest of that game was to play defense on their really, really tough midfielder. It was muddy, it was exhausting, and I worked so hard that game, and we won. At the end, Coach P ran off the field, and he put his arm around me and let me lean as we walked off because I was exhausted. And he said, "Way to push through, kid." And it was those weeks and months with Boudria before that taught me how to push through those moments. And all of it's connected in some way. And then Steph Sylvia and Jill Martin are here, 2 teammates of mine since I was 6 years old. We've been playing soccer and basketball and doing life with those two forever. I remember Jill playing baseball with the boys in our neighborhood from dawn to dusk every single summer. kicking their asses and only breaking when my mom called us over for lunch. I remember getting nailed in the face with a rock-solid, snow-covered ball during a November soccer game against Falmouth, falling flat on the field and Steph grabbing me by the nape of my jersey, pulling me up and saying, "This is the effing Falmouth game. If you're not bleeding, get up." And I did. That game and any time in my life I needed to pick me up after, and a Steph Sylvia pep talk. She's been there for me every minute. And that's what's so special about sports. That's what I couldn't stop coming back to when I was thinking about this. We learn to compete, we learn to work hard, we learn to adapt, we learn to win. Most importantly, we build relationships that sustain us beyond our years on the pitch. We compete in other arenas, we work hard in professions, we adapt to whatever life throws our way, and our definition of winning changes 1,000 little times over all of that. And so, thank you all for doing this for me, for nominating me, for being my teammate, for being my family. You changed sport from being an athlete, just something an athlete does, to being a person. And I wake up feeling like there's something big to play for every single day because of it. Thank you to my coaches and my teammates for putting up with my mouth and giving me the push I needed to be better. Thank you to my brother Paul for sitting in the bleachers all those years, even though you could kind of give a shit. It really meant a lot having you there, even though it didn't always seem like it, and I appreciate your support every single year along the way. Thank you to my wife Jess and her parents, Jack and Joanne, all here today. I love you all in the way you love and support me in everything that I do. And finally, thank you to my mom and dad for all the weekends, the nights, the tears, the encouragement, and for pushing me, but never too hard. Sports were always about these memories, never the accomplishments, and you really instilled that in me. And it let me accomplish more because of that freedom. So thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Our next inductee is Carrie Branchino. Carrie's athletic journey is a testament to her exceptional talent, unwavering dedication, and numerous achievements in track and field. Competing across 3 seasons as a volleyball player and a winter and spring track athlete, Carrie's prowess on the track earned her widespread recognition and a multitude of honors. During her freshman year, Carrie's potential was evident as she was awarded the Outstanding Freshman Athlete and clinched victory in the discus at the Durfee Freshman Sophomore Meet. However, it was during her junior and senior years that Carrie truly distinguished herself as a dominant force in the sport. Notable highlights of Carrie's illustrious career include multiple first-place finishes in the shot put and discus relays, high rankings in the state championships, and prestigious recognitions such as all-state placements and MVP awards. Moreover, Carrie left an indelible mark on her school's track and field history by breaking records in the shot put and the discus events. Off the track, Carrie finds strength and support in her loving family, including her mother, Tammy Arujo, father, Norman Arujo, brother, Brian Ventura, sister-in-law Lisa Aruda, fiancée Annie Roach, stepson Adrian Roach, and in-laws Martha and Carlos Gonzalez. Their unwavering encouragement and their belief in their abilities was instrumental in Carrie's success both on and off the field. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2006, please welcome Carrie Branchino.
All right, I swear I used to DJ, so I'll put this back right after, but something about having the mic in my hand. All right, so I loved hearing everybody else's speeches, and it brought me back to thinking about my DGAL days. So my parents sacrificed a lot for me, whether it be money, time, their energy, and I'd like to truly believe that it paid off in the investments they made to me. So I did sports in elementary, middle school, I was in the orchestra, I was a brownie, a Girl Scout. And looking back at my journey in elementary school and middle school, I was actually made fun of a lot, like a lot. And I got down on myself, and then as I progressed and went to high school, sports gave me a place to grow. And I don't think I would have ended up in track and field if it wasn't for the gym teacher, Miss Guerrero. We were trying different sports, and I threw shot put one day, and she was like, "Whoa, you could actually be good at that." And I was like, "Huh, okay." I went, and it was high school days, and I tried out for track and field, and it was something I excelled in. And I'm grateful for Coach Rock and Coach Mike, his late son, Without them, I don't think I would have excelled as far as I did either with track and field. I'm grateful for the other athletes that competed on the side of me, and you know, we pushed each other to exceed and excel, and through track and field I gained confidence, I gained pride, and I'm trying not to get emotional. Hearing everybody else's speeches was very heartwarming, but it truly helped to develop me into the woman I am today. And I took that success and that Dartmouth pride, and 10 years after high school, I decided to go back to college, and I went to Bristol Community College. Actually, one of my fellow classmates is clapping right now, Shiv. And the president of Bristol Community College, Laura Douglas, is also here today as well. I took that success and that confidence, and I became the valedictorian there. I earned a lot of scholarships upon my journey, and I took that all the way to Boston University and graduated with my master's degree in social work. So all that heartfelt energy that everybody poured into me. I work in the human services field. I work with a lot of children. I currently run a senior program, a senior center in Gwinnett County in Georgia. And I take all that energy that was put back it to me, and I like to give it to everybody else. And I always believe that if you can at least touch one person and those other people can go on to touch other people, that's what creates the community. That's what creates society, the world. So thank you, Dartmouth High School. Thank you for the teachers, the coaches, my athletes, my classmates. We truly went on wonderful journeys together, and the journeys didn't end there. So I continue to bleed green. I live in Georgia now. My fiance, Annie, and her son, and my friend Kelly were brave enough to get in the car on Friday with me, and we drove 19 hours to be here. I got my full of Portuguese food. My mom made me a nice Thanksgiving dinner. We had some good Chinese food because it is not good in Georgia. And we're going to turn around tomorrow and go back. But I'm very grateful for the time here. I'm thankful for everybody that gave their time in my life. And I hope it continues. Sports, like I said, made me the person I am, and it was free back then. I don't know if it wasn't free, if I would have been able to do all I did. I ended up going with the orchestra to the Azores in Ireland with Heather Church, our orchestra instructor, and that truly helped to build who I am as well today. So please, all the people that still work for Dartmouth High School or other schools, continue doing what you do and putting into those students, because they'll continue to pay it back and then some and give it to the community. And one more thing. INDIANS, Indians, Indians. There we go, are the best, don't forget.
Our next inductee this evening is Justin Mello from the class of 2009. Justin's high school journey at Dartmouth High School was nothing short of remarkable, marked by his exceptional athleticism and versatility across football, basketball, baseball, and tennis. Throughout his 4 years, Justin's prowess on the field and court earned him numerous accolades and achievements, solidifying his status as an outstanding athlete. In football, Justin's contributions were instrumental in the team's success as they clinched the Old Colony League title 3 consecutive years and made impressive playoff appearances. On the basketball court, Justin's skills were equally impressive as he showcased his talents with a double-double average for points and rebounds throughout his 4-year varsity career. Why, even in tennis, a sport he only played for 1 year, Justin's natural athleticism and competitive spirit shone through as he partnered with Sean Sylvia. I think we know that name also here, don't we? He, too, advanced to the sectional semifinals in first doubles, boasting an impressive 10-2 record. Beyond his athletic achievements, Justin's unwavering support system, including his parents Jean and Gilbert Mello and brother Jordan Mello, played a significant role in his success. Currently residing in California, Justin's legacy as a multi-sport phenom continues to inspire those who had the privilege of witnessing his extraordinary talents on the field and on the court. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2009, please welcome Justin Mello.
I think we all know that Sean and I are actually here for tennis only. As I sat down to write this speech 10 minutes ago in the White to Westport bathroom, no, I thought about it for a while. I didn't know what to write. Kind of took my time to really think about what this means to me, and had a hard time figuring it out, which I think a lot of us, especially the younger group, might feel. So I really thought about my family and just time in general, and a little bit about how time as we get older becomes more valuable and more precious for us. And I think the most important thing that I'm realizing now is how much time has been dedicated by the people that we love, and just really how important it is for me now. Two examples I just wanted to give of where I am today because of the time of others is Coach Ventura, one of the football coaches, took Chris Toole, which some may know, who's I think third in our class, to a trip to Harvard for a football trip to see if maybe we could play there. And he went out of his way to say, no, you should come, you should come. We got into the room together. They said, Chris, we want to see a couple things on your tape. We love your grades. If you can show us some things on your tape, I think we can get you in there. And then they looked at me and said, we love your tape, but you're never coming to Harvard. So, that was, for him to go out his way, though, for that meant a lot. And then another story, which a lot of people may not know, is I played football at UNH, but how I played at UNH was my Uncle Ricky, which some of you here know as well, called UNH pretending to be a coach, saying that they should look at my highlight tape. And for him to go out his way to do that, they actually had 3 or 4 injuries in camp, and I made it in as a walk-on because of him taking his time to go in and call them. So much appreciated. When it comes to my family, what you've dedicated over the years, and how much time you've taken out of your days without ever being asked to come to our games, sit at Gillette and probably still have some frostbite from our Super Bowl game. My mom, I want to thank you for just reminding me that it's just a sport sometimes, which is the most important thing to be reminded when you're doing this. My dad, which is this should be a Hall of Fame stat, he didn't miss a single basketball practice for 4 years. Not a game, practice. I'd like to thank my brother for teaching me that I hate to lose. And I'd like to thank all the coaches, the ones that are here being inducted, the ones that I had, and the ones that still continue to serve the community. I think, again, the time that you're dedicating is shaping the community around us, although I'm not here anymore. Again, I think what you're doing is why we're able to continue to do things like this, how we stay, with the close-knit groups that we have. It really all starts with the coaches here, so thank you. And lastly, just to all the nominees, congratulations. We're going to be able to share this forever. Thank you.
Our next inductee is his tennis teammate, Sean Sylvia. Sean, I never knew you for tennis. I'm shocked by that one. A distinguished multi-sport athlete emerged as a beacon of excellence during his high school tenure at Dartmouth High School, where his unparalleled talents left an indelible mark across against the realms of football, basketball, and tennis. In football, Sean's prowess was nothing short of extraordinary. A 4-year varsity stint and an impressive 41-game tenure, he etched his name in the annals of Dartmouth's gridiron history. Offensive things such as boasting a remarkable tally of 297 points, 43 touchdowns, over 3,000 total yards, along with 205 tackles and 11 interceptions, showing that he could play both offense and defense. Basketball, Sean continued to shine seamlessly, transitioning his athletic prowess to the hardwood. His dynamic play and scoring prowess propelled his team to victory in the fiercely competitive Old Colony League. And of course, you already heard about the tennis thing, so we won't even bother with that right now. But off the field, Sean found unwavering support from his loving family, including his mother, Carol Sylvia, father, Tony Sylvia, sisters Stephanie Langford and Sarah Sylvia, and brother Scott Sylvia, who stood by him through each and every triumph and challenge, serving as a constant source of inspiration and encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2009, please welcome Sean Sylvia.
Well, for anybody who knows me, they definitely know that I have nothing prepared, not even in the bathroom, just so I'm just gonna wing it. But you know, a lot of things kind of resonate with me through your speech. It's just being thankful and you know how much privilege we have. You know, as I get older, just the time, money, just everything that you know my parents sacrificed, and then just being drug around soccer fields and basketball courts, watching two other tremendous athletes with my sister and brother. You know, I was constantly playing ball, and I think that was the epitome of, you know, shaped me for who I am, because I just always played ball. I wasn't really on the phone. There was no phones. But, you know, even going to Justin's house, you know, playing dunk basketball in like an 8-foot hoop with his brother, always wanted to play with the older kids, always wanted to beat them. And Jan and Gil giving me rides to games and stuff. So it went both ways. It was just such a good support system in this town. And, you know, I'm super thankful for it. And I definitely can't overarch all the coaches that I had, tremendous coaches. Excuse me. You know, Coach Rossi over there, Coach White couldn't make it, but Coach Rossi definitely pushing, you know, me and, you know, the whole supporting cast. He had a bunch of different personalities in there, a bunch of different egos, a lot of great players that we just pushed each other tremendously. And I think that's why we had a ton of success, is because we were always together. We always wanted to be together. You know, kicking us out of the locker room late at night. It was just those special moments that I think about, you know, a lot, you know. Has nothing to do with the accolades, you know, you probably read them, but that really means nothing to me. It's more of just, you know, the supporting cast. Coach Gasper, you know, having a bunch of football players, trying to coach them to play basketball was definitely something for sure. Got pretty physical out there with the host of people over there. Then Coach McDermott for the very brief stint, and then walked up over to Coach McGonigal and started playing tennis with Justin. You know, so I just had a great, you know, just great kids that I played with and still keep in touch with. You know, I loved playing at Boston College. It was a tremendous time in my life, and you know, had a successful career there. Still have great friends there, but you know, there's just something to be said about, you know, just, you know, obviously Coach Rossi texted me about the, you know, the 1,000, and if I didn't get hurt, I could have been the only 1,000 person in Dartmouth High. But you know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know, it was the people I was around, and it was the coaching staff, my tremendous family, and the huge support system over here, from my immediate family to my extended family. And I'm just super honored and privileged, and thank you to the committee, Mike, Walter, everybody back there. There's just too many people to thank, but you know, thank you all for coming, and congratulations to all the other inductees as well. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Garrett Allen from the class of 2011. Garrett's illustrious hockey career at Dartmouth High School is a testament to his exceptional skill, his leadership, and dedication to the sport. Over 4 remarkable seasons with the varsity hockey team, Garrett received numerous awards and honors for his outstanding athletic ability, leaving an indelible mark on the ice. His list of accolades is extensive, reflecting his dominance on the hockey rink. He was selected the Old Colony League All-Star 3 consecutive years from 2008 through 2011, and earned recognition as a Standard Times All-Star in 2008-2009. His exceptional performance earned him a coveted spot on the Standard Times Super Team in 2009-10, and the prestigious title of Standard Times Player of the Year in 2010-11. Notably, Garrett's talent was further recognized when he was nominated to play in the Massachusetts State Seniors Shriners All-Star Game back in 2010-11, where he earned the coveted MVP title, solidifying his status as a hockey phenom. Supported by his loving family, including his parents Patricia and Gary Allen, and brothers Peyton and Corrid, and Jarrett's passion for hockey continues to thrive, presently serving as the boys' hockey assistant coach at Milton Academy. Garrett's impact on the sport extends beyond his playing days, as he continues to inspire and mentor the next generation of hockey players throughout Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, from from the class of 2011, please welcome Garrett Allen.
So, is this good? Can you hear me all? Yeah, good. So today marks a monumental moment in my life. I am extremely honored and grateful to have been inducted into the Dartmouth High School Hall of Fame. I would like to congratulate the other inductees. I have a number of people to thank. I want to apologize in advance if I miss anyone. Mom, thank you for giving me every opportunity to do what I believed in. The countless hours spent on school, driving me where I needed to be. Early mornings, late evenings. I truly owe you all of the success I have. You were willing to sacrifice everything and anything on the drop of a dime to benefit me, and I'll never forget that. Dad, the hours you spent in my athletic career, no doubt are the reason I'm up here today. The compete you instilled in me has carried me right into my life after sports, and it's been a major part of the man I am today. Who knew how much I would miss the time spent in the basement shooting pucks, or you skipping ground balls off my chest to see if I wasn't afraid of bad hops. And also, thanks for teaching me at a young age, if you show me someone who is a good loser, I will show you a loser. Lisa, thank you for being like a second mother to me. Thank you for being there for every important moment in my life. You have supported me in every facet of my life, and you have never batted an eye when it came to the sacrifice and helping me along this journey. To my brothers, Cord and Peyton, Cord, I don't know if I could find someone out there who's a better depiction of what a big brother should be. Wanting to follow in your footsteps was one of the easiest choices I have ever made. The way you carried yourself, treated others, and worked towards your goals in life was the best motivation that I could ask for. The fondest memory of playing hockey at Dartmouth High was definitely playing with you my freshman season. Peyton, you were the younger brother I didn't know I needed. Having someone I knew was looking up to me gave me such great pride. I strive to be someone that you would want to follow. Every long car ride, every weekend tournament that I played in, you never complained. And when hockey first ended for me, it wasn't easy. And the most important thing you probably taught me is that there's more to life than hockey and sports. Uncle Scott, you have been a mentor to me my entire life. Thank you for being the person that I can always count on for the answers to the many questions I've had and will have. You have believed in me probably more than I believe in myself, and I cannot thank you enough for that. To my coaches, Mike Capello, Brian Rose, and Derek Martin, thank you for the countless hours you spent with our team, helping to develop us both on and off the ice. Coach Capello, I have learned so much from you, and there's no question that we'll be back here one day when you get inducted into the Dartmouth Hall of Fame. Coach Raleigh, thank you for giving me the opportunity to play college hockey. To my family and friends who came tonight, I cannot thank you all enough. It means so much to me to get to celebrate such a great milestone with the people that I love. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for choosing me, to everyone who set up such a great event, and that's all I have to say. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Our next inductee is Catherine Hiller from the class of 2012. Catherine's high school athletic journey at Dartmouth High School exemplified excellence and dedication across multiple sports, including soccer, basketball, indoor track, and outdoor track. Throughout her illustrious career, Catherine received numerous honors and achievements, leaving an indelible mark on each and every team that she represented. In soccer, her leadership and skill were undeniable, as she played varsity for 3 years and served as team captain during her senior year. In basketball, Catherine's talents shone through as she led it for varsity during her freshman, sophomore, and senior years. Despite participating in indoor track for only 1 year, her impact was felt as she was selected as a Standard Times Winter Track All-Star and a member of the record-setting sprint medley team. Off the field, Catherine fondly remembers the unparalleled energy and excitement of Dartmouth High School Stadium, especially during night games filled with family, friends, and students cheering on the girls' soccer team. Catherine's family, including her fiance, Alexander McKay, father Emerson Hiller, mother Charlene Hiller, brothers Jay Hiller and Christopher Hiller, sister-in-law Keith Hiller, niece Cecilia, and nephew McKinnon Hiller, provided unwavering support throughout her athletic journey. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2012, please welcome Catherine Hiller.
All right. Thank you for organizing such a wonderful event, Mr. Shea. And to the Hall of Fame committee, I'm honored to be recognized among so many talented athletes and coaches here this evening. Dartmouth High School athletics were an integral part of my childhood, well before even reaching high school. I remember my mom would bundle my brother and me up in snow gear at the age of 3 just to attend high school football games. Later, we'd travel around the state with the soccer teams, basketball, and football teams as they would make long runs into the playoffs. I attended sport camps every summer. I got to meet the coaches and the athletes who were my role models at that time. My parents even held watch parties when we couldn't go to the games. And I remember celebrating the Indians as they brought home the 2005 girls basketball state championship with my travel basketball team. I grew up admiring the great athletes at Dartmouth High, and I'm honored and I'm humbled to be placed here in their ranks. I want to thank all my coaches throughout high school for the opportunity to play the games that we loved, and to thank my teammates for the dedication, the memories of the wins, the losses, all the laughs that came in between. Thank you to Coach White, who was my spring track coach for javelin and for high jump. He helped a younger and much more stubborn version of me realize that playing more is not always better. Training smarter can help you avoid injuries, which is something that plagued me throughout high school. Thank you to Coach Poirier, to Coach Boudria, and to Coach Hoyle. You guys led the teams that I will always remember in high school. You instilled a culture of success and winning, but more importantly, you taught me what it means to be a good teammate and what it means to work hard. And as Coach Hoyle would say, giving 100% doesn't make you special. It makes you part of the team. I still have a t-shirt with that emblazoned on the back. A huge thank you also to the Dartmouth community. It's everyone in this town, in the past, in the present, who have created and continued the legacy of Dartmouth pride. It's why singing Glory to Dartmouth at the end of a win is so sweet. It's with great thanks and privilege that I can reflect on my years in Dartmouth High School athletics. And these were the years that were foundational in my path to go on to play soccer at Providence College and now to becoming an orthopedic surgeon. And lastly, thank you to my family and my friends who are here in strong support tonight. This group has provided relentless support of my athletic and educational endeavors throughout my life. A special thank you to my parents for opening so many doors in my life, in athletics and beyond, that have allowed me to explore and to grow as a person. Without you, none of this would be possible. And as I look into the crowd this evening over here, I see faces that were staring down at me, cheering me on in the stadium, in the court, in the gym, cheering me every single game. Thank you. And thank you all for hosting such a memorable evening tonight, and congratulations to all the other members being inducted this evening. I'm honored to be part of this group.
A final inductee of this evening is Riley Marion Branso from the class of 2012. Riley Branso's high school athletic career was defined by her exceptional talent, dedication, and numerous achievements across multiple sports, including lacrosse and track. Over the course of her 4 years as a varsity lacrosse player, Riley earned a plethora of awards and honors, and I haven't had a chance to use the word plethora all evening. Thank you so much. solidifying her status as one of Dartmouth High School's most celebrated athletes. On the lacrosse field, Riley's achievements were nothing short of remarkable. She garnered recognition as a two-time Standard Times Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year in 2011 and 2012, setting records with an impressive 119 goals in a single season. In addition to her lacrosse prowess, Riley excelled on the track, where she showcased her speed and versatility, and off the field, Riley fondly recalls the camaraderie and fun shared during spaghetti dinners for lacrosse and field hockey, as well as memorable moments with the 4x400 relay team. Following her high school career, Riley continued her lacrosse journey by playing 4 seasons at Ithaca College, further showcasing her passion and dedication to the sport. Riley's family, including her husband Morgan Branso, her mother Kristen Rosano, and her father Tom Marion, provided unwavering support throughout her athletic journey, serving as a source of encouragement and inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2012, please welcome Riley Marion Branso.
Good evening, everyone. I am humbled and extremely grateful to have been chosen for this honor. I would like to spend this time to say thank you. First, I would like to thank the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee and everyone who made tonight possible. Thank you to my coaches, to Coach Richards and Coach Magno. Your guidance, patience, and belief in my potential pushed me to be my best. I had such a passion for lacrosse, and you helped me excel. Thank you, Coach Souza, Coach Reed, Coach Fran, Coach Trepanier, Coach Sutherland. Track turned out to be a lot more than I bargained for. If I'm being honest, I initially signed up just to stay in shape for lacrosse. Coach Souza had other plans for me though, and I am so grateful for that. Track did help me build strength and speed, but more importantly, it helped me build resilience. Thank you to my teammates, my friends. Reflecting on my time playing sports in high school, what sticks out most in my memory is just how much fun I had with my friends. Friends I still have today. Last but definitely not least, thank you to my parents and family for your endless love, support, and encouragement. I can't put into words how much I appreciate all you have done for me over the years. Congrats to all the other inductees, and thank you once again for this incredible honor.
Thank you, Riley. Short, sweet, and direct and to the point. Yay! Everybody clap. Yay! Okay. A couple of things that we heard here tonight. Always remember, first of all, nice round of applause for all the coaches who helped out all these years. Number 2, what did you learn tonight? We always thank Mom and Dad. Congratulations to all the families for putting up with everyone and bringing them to all those events, all those places. Oh, and there is one more thing. Number 3, thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great summer. We'll see you again in 2 years. Take care.